Now, this actually wouldn't be one of my videos without me plugging myself. So, I stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday on twitch.tv/GarfieldIsDoc. Also, the link will be in my description for that, and as well with my Discord link below. I know a lot of people have a hard time finding people to play with, so there is an LFG inside my Discord. So if you want to join, yeah, just click the link in the description. I hope you enjoyed the video. Before I actually break down my points and information, I would like to clarify the whole point of roaming, which is wasting time. A lot of people tend to throw their bodies trying to get a very early pick, and they end up crippling their team by doing so. On the other hand, you have players that like to hide and wait the entire round just for their anchors to be killed off very early, and then they have to retake site, and they end up getting empty kills that don't matter, and they lose a round. Players like this also tend to wait the entire round to flank just to be killed by a claymore. As a roamer, you need to be able to play passive aggressive and really be able to react to any type of situation. The only reasonable example to throw your body so early is if you can actually get a pick on an important operator like Thatcher or any type of hard breacher. Other than that, you need to either try and contest a common area and make them waste drones on you, or hide and make them drone you out the entire round. Okay, starting out when talking about roaming, there's actually two different types of roaming, which are shallow roaming and deep roaming. Both varies on which map you're on, but both important. Shallow roaming is when a roamer is close to site and not across the map, so it makes it easier to rotate back to site if the enemy team is rushing or your anchors get picked off very early. Deep roaming is the opposite of shallow. It's when a roamer is actually across the map and his job is to waste as much time as possible. I'm actually going to show you a slight example of what I mean by shallow roaming and actually deep roaming if there's any type of misunderstanding. So let's get right into it. Now this is a prime example of what I mean by like shallow roaming. I'm basically just a floor up, I'm pretty close to site, and it's on actually canal. We're down in basement I believe, and I'm holding upstairs reception area by the hatch with Kapkan. It's actually quite an effective maneuver. I just scatter EDDs all across the first floor, and I just waste their time. I make them drone me out. If I can get a few picks, I do so. But it's really just to waste time and try to deny them from getting the hatch, because if they get the hatch, then it's harder to play in sight, and especially if they play vertical. As you can see, I get a few picks and somebody actually hits my EDD. Me and Jaeger bounce off each other and play pretty well, roaming with each other, but that's because we have communication. If you're not in a 5-stack and you can't communicate, then it's pretty hard to play off of somebody. Now this is also another shallow room clip. I'm Jaeger in bakery on cafe, and it's such a good hold, especially if you don't over peak and you get fragged off as Jaeger so early. As you can see, I get like 3 picks off of that. But even just wasting that time, they're wasting so much utility just to get one operator. So if you can spend like a solid 2 minutes just in bakery waiting for them, because they need to hit that front wall. If they don't, of course, they might rotate to the back, but most teams want to go for that front wall. Okay, this is an example of deep roaming. I spent most of my time just lingering until I heard Buck upstairs. He started bucking, so I caught him off guard and got the quick pick. I was willing to get that trade-off just because how viable Buck is on this site. After that, I knew that they were communicating and they were going to try to close me out, but I just wanted to waste as much time as possible. I didn't care if I got fragged out. At that point, it's like I got Buck. Now it's just time for them to try to come get me like a bunch of rats chasing cheese. But as you can see, like, I start getting pre-fired through walls, and you got to be aggressive in these predicaments. You can't be scared to just start pre-firing back, and maybe you'll get a quick kill or two, or maybe you'll get killed. It happens. But I just wait for them to start droning me out, and I get quite a bit of their drones, and I actually get peeked by the IQ, which I kill her, and I actually down somebody through the wall. As you can see, it says injured, and then somebody else pushes me like an idiot. So even if I didn't get those picks and they were still pushing me, they still only had a minute 40 left, and I killed their soft breacher that was trying to play vertical, denying them from actually any useful vertical play like Buck was doing. And yeah, no, that's basically all you have to do in those deep roaming situations. You just wait for them to throw bodies at you, and they played very stupid, I'm not gonna lie. They didn't pinch well, they didn't open up any lines of sight. They all just flooded one door and droned me out very bad. But it was a good roam for when it comes to picking your operator. Like most operators that have C4s, most of the time you're gonna want to stay in sight. Like even though Bandit's like a 3-speed, like I said, most time you're either gonna have to use that C4 for plant denial, or you're gonna have to bandit trick, for example Bandit. Pulse is very effective in sight, but he can be effective outside of sight. So it really depends on the map. But of course, like you have operators like Jaeger, Vigil, Alibi, and Cav. But Alibi and Cav are in this weird space where they're not very useful in high ranks, just in my personal opinion. Like of course, Alibi's weapon is very good, but her little like cloak thingy, I don't know what to call them, like dummies, whatever. If you have a different type of skin on, and if you have attachments on, it doesn't like copy onto those little fake things. And Cavi, like her SMG is very bad. Her shotgun's good, but you know she doesn't have any far range weapons. And to be honest, when a team sees a Caviar, they're gonna want to drone her out and get rid of her ASAP. That's why I think Vigil is the most efficient roamer, just because what he denies with his ability. And Jaeger's always a viable option because you always need Jaeger, just because, you know, the ADSs and whatnot. Of course, you can use a Wamai trying to replace Jaeger, but he just doesn't do the same thing as Jaeger does. But altogether, like, those are my personal opinions, and all these are my personal opinions. But when it comes to actually like roaming, you need to try to waste time and not really care about your KD or even your kills. Like none of that shit matters. You should never save KD in general, just because any type of situation is clutchable, and you don't look like a good, you know, team sport. Like stats do not matter at the end of the day. That's why so many players stay in Plat 3 and Plat 2, because they're too selfish. You got to think for your team. Like, am I doing what my team needs to win? Because that's all that matters at the end of the day, and that's how you're going to rank up. But if you enjoyed this video and you think I missed anything, please drop in the description what you think I may have missed, or if you think I'm wrong, you know, why not spark a conversation? But if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe, and maybe give your personal opinion, like what I should do next, like maybe how to anchor properly, or like anything else you would like to see. Drop in the description. Yeah, thank you.